Let's be direct. You feel invisible. You give your time, your energy, and your loyalty, but in their life, you are not a priority. You are an option. You've done the right thing, you've been the good person, you've made yourself available, and in return, you've been taken for granted. It is a frustrating and deeply painful experience. The world gives you soft advice. Just be yourself. Wait your turn. Maybe they'll notice you eventually. That is the advice of the powerless. This video is different. This is not about being nice. This is about understanding the brutal psychology of human value. Today, we are going to decode 8 powerful strategies that will shift the dynamic. These are not tricks. They are principles of self-respect that will force others to recognize your worth and give you the priority you command. 1. Weaponize the fear of loss. The first strategy is the most powerful psychological lever you have. People are more motivated by the fear of losing something than by the prospect of gaining something of equal value. This is a Nobel Prize-winning concept called loss aversion, discovered by psychologist Daniel Kahneman. The pain of losing $100 is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of finding $100. If people perceive you as a permanent, guaranteed presence in their life, you have zero value in this regard. You can't be lost. You must introduce the possibility of your absence. This isn't about threats. It's about a quiet emotional and physical withdrawal. You stop sharing your deepest thoughts and feelings. You become a little slower to respond. You start investing your time in your own hobbies and other relationships. You are not being cruel. You are simply showing them that your presence is not a guarantee. It is a privilege. The moment they feel the subtle fear of that privilege being revoked, their perception of your value skyrockets. 2. Be less available. In a world of instant access and constant availability, scarcity is the new currency of value. The more available you are, the less you are worth. This is the scarcity principle, a cornerstone of influence. We are neurologically wired to believe that things that are rare, limited, or hard to get are more valuable. This applies to objects, and it applies to people. When you are always available, always the first to text, always willing to drop your plans for them, you are signaling that you are an abundant, and therefore, low-value commodity. Become less available. Not as a game, but because you are genuinely busy building your own life. Don't always say yes to last-minute plans. Don't be the one to always initiate communication. Let some calls go to voicemail. Let some texts go unanswered for a few hours. You are not playing hard to get. You are being hard to get because you have a life, a mission, and priorities outside of them. This forces them to compete for a scarce and valuable resource, your time and attention. 3. Make them invest in you. There is a simple psychological switch that determines who holds the power in a relationship. The person who is more invested has less power. This is called the Ben Franklin effect. Paradoxically, we come to like people more after we do things for them, because our brain needs to justify the effort. It thinks, I must really value this person if I'm going to this trouble for them. If you are the only one investing your time, energy, and resources, you are constantly justifying their value to yourself while they do nothing. Allow them, and even gently encourage them, to invest in you. Ask for small, reasonable favors. Let them help you with a problem. Create situations where they have to make an effort to see you or win your time. This isn't about being a user. It's about balancing the ledger of investment. When they invest their effort into the relationship, their own brain will convince them that you are a priority worth investing in. 4. Create an aura of mystery. People are not drawn to a book they have already read. They are drawn to the one with a captivating cover and an unknown story. Our brains are wired for curiosity and novelty. Mystery creates a state of intrigue that occupies a person's mind. When they can't figure you out, they think about you more. That mental real estate is the foundation of becoming a priority. Stop revealing everything about yourself at once. Answer questions, but don't volunteer your entire life story. Have passions and hobbies that are yours alone, that they only get glimpses of. Be an open book with a few sealed chapters. You are not being deceptive. You are being deep. You are showing them that you are a world to be explored, not a pamphlet to be read and discarded. 5. Become the source of your own happiness. This is the ultimate shift from a position of weakness to a position of power. A person who needs another for happiness is a dependent. A person who brings their own happiness to a relationship is a prize. Emotional dependency is repulsive. It signals neediness, which is the opposite of value. A person who is self-sufficient, who has their own sources of joy, purpose, and validation, is incredibly attractive. Their happiness is not a request. It is an overflowing fountain that others want to be near. Deliberately create a life that you love, a life that does not require their participation to be fulfilling. Find a mission that excites you more than any person does. Cultivate friendships that nourish you. Learn to enjoy your own solitude. When your happiness is no longer contingent on their attention, a strange thing happens. They start to give you more of it, because they are now dealing with a whole person, not a void that needs to be filled. 6. Stop seeking their approval. You feel like a low priority to them because you are using their behavior as your scorecard for your own worth. This is a game you will always lose. The Stoics called this having an internal locus of control. It is the art of judging yourself by your own values, not by the applause or silence of others. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that if you seek approval from others, you have become their slave. Create your own non-negotiable inner scorecard. Your win for the day is not, did they text me back? Your win is, did I act with integrity? Did I work hard on my mission? Was I true to my own values? When you start grading yourself based on your own character and effort, the only things you can control, their opinion of you becomes irrelevant. You have taken back the power to define your own worth. 7. Be willing to walk away. This is the final and most powerful strategy. You must have the courage to walk away from anyone who consistently treats you like an option. In negotiation theory, this is your BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. The person with the best walk-away option holds all the power. If you are not afraid to lose them, you are in a position of immense strength. This is not a bluff. It must be real. This comes from building a life so full of purpose, self-respect, and other healthy relationships that the loss of any single person, while painful, is not devastating. You send a powerful, unspoken message. I would love for you to be in my life, but I do not need you to be. This willingness to choose yourself over their validation is the ultimate demonstration of high value, and it will either make them realize what they are about to lose, or it will free you to find someone who will recognize your worth from the start. 8. Project high value through your actions. Value is not something you ask for. It is something you demonstrate. Machiavelli taught that people react not to who you are, but to who you appear to be. While he had a dark reputation, the core psychological principle is sound. Your actions, your posture, your speech, they all project a message about your own self-worth. Stop trying to convince people of your value. Start acting like a high-value person. Stop over-explaining yourself. State your opinion and leave it there. Move with a slower, more deliberate pace. People in a hurry are seen as low status. Master your own emotions. A person who is calm and unshakable in a crisis projects immense power. You are creating an undeniable aura of self-respect. People will not give you priority because you asked for it. They will give it to you because your every action demonstrates that you are a person who deserves it. These 8 strategies are not about manipulation. They are about a profound shift in your own psychology, from seeking validation to demonstrating value. It's about moving from being a pleaser to being a priority. You do this not by being louder, but by building a quiet, unshakable foundation of self-respect. You build a life that is so full and meaningful on its own that the approval of others becomes a pleasant bonus, not a desperate necessity. This is the ultimate power, and it is completely within your control.